Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Sonic the Hedgehog here, and I'm Piglet here. We are back for the Maxi Toys, and welcome back to more Let's Play of Super Smash Bros. Brawl Subspace Emissary mode. So anyways, last time we actually did manage to battle the likes of these bunch of Subspace enemies from the likes of the stadium, and also we managed to explore Sky World, and now we're going to continue on and moving on into the next level in the game, which was known as Sea of Clouds, which is essentially the second cloud level in the game. So, yeah, let's jump in. And there's also the Princess Peach version every once in a while, so even then, that's what happens if you actually rescue Princess Peach from the first boss, as you probably already know, so it might play out exactly similar to the ones in the previous cutscene, so I digress. So anyways, let's go ahead and select Zelda for this particular section. So even then though, we'll explain more on her on the movesets department. So if you ever played Super Smash Bros. Melee before, then you know exactly like how it does it from the previous game. And as well as in that though, she can actually transform into Zelda/Sheik every once in a while pressing the deep down special attack. As well as the standard standalone B attack can perform just a diamond shape attack. And especially if you actually be using the side special attacks, you can actually throw the fire projectile at somebody. And finally, the up B attack can actually teleport into one place to another, so yeah. If you have Princess Peach on this particular cutscene, and it plays exactly like how it does it for Zelda version, although the noticeable difference is the screaming and stuff like that, but depends on if you actually, again, if you rescue Zelda or Peach and stuff, so yeah, that's between alternate cutscene number 3 and this is the 4th alternate cutscene, so that's how this usually goes. So now let's go ahead and switch back to Kirby, and we're going to be using Zelda once we actually lose our life and stuff. So here we go, onto the actual Sea of Clouds. So basically in the first section of the level is by basically just walking forward onto the Hellbird from Kirby Superstar, and that's all there is to know. So now we ended up in Sea of Clouds, as we mentioned earlier, and this is basically more likely equivalent to the likes of the Sky World, as we already been into from Mario and Pit. But even though this time around, though, we can actually select Kirby and as well as Zelda or Princess Peach. It depends on what, again, what princess we'll be rescuing. So, as far as memory is concerned, that's all there is to know. So, yeah, when it comes to the alteration cutscenes and stuff like that, there's going to be a lot more alternate cutscenes along the way. Even then, we'll get to those shortly after. So, right here, this is where we actually get ourselves the freebie stock, so that way you can actually add to your stock count. It's up to like, I'm assuming it's going to be more likely 5 most likely at the currently right now, because every time when you die in certain points of the level, that sometimes, although unlike how it does it from other fighting games, or even especially the Lego games, that you usually switch between characters whatever you want. Especially it depends on what character your requirements in order to actually access the secret areas. This game, however, doesn't usually have the swapping fighters yet, fighter system. But even then, we'll get to that eventually, shortly afterwards. So, currently at the moment, let's talk about the movesets of Kirby. He behaves exactly like how it does it for Super Smash Bros. 64 and especially Super Smash Bros. Melee. He still can perform the hammer whilst using the side special attack, and the standalone B special attack is while actually swallowing someone, while specifically some of the fighters that can once again can actually perform some different copy abilities. So even then though, that sort of depends on the based off the fighters you'll be using, or even fight against with someone. So pretty cool though. I'm kind of glad it makes that return. In addition to there are going to be some newer ones along the way. Even then though, we'll get to that eventually until we actually showcase the versus matches and stuff like that. So yeah. That's all there is to say. And there's another thing is worth mentioning though, is that Kirby can actually also perform the uppercut while simply just use the up B special attack. And finally, the down B special attack can actually perform a stone ability. So even then though, there's gonna be a lot of a lot of different shapes on Kirby himself this time around. Even though it might be somewhat a little bit too similar to how it does it for Melee though, however, because I'm guessing as far as I'm concerned, that it might actually bring up the newer version of the Thwomp stone from Super Smash Bros. 4. I'm gonna have to admit that. Right here, this really ourselves these trophy discs. If every time when you grab one, it's your chance to actually just manage to throw the trophy disc at some enemies, or even bosses included, which is kind of sweet though, honestly. And every time when you're actually trying to caught one, although you're gonna have to admit though, is that before you actually try to grab yourselves the enemy trophy, you're going to recommend you do need to let these enemies go into a little bit of health left, so that way it will actually work that way. However, if you don't do it for that method, you'll probably won't get a chance while doing so, because you only have there's gonna be quite a few attempts to do it, but a lot of times though you only have one specific try in order to actually success for this part. Excuse me about that, sorry about that. But anywho though, so yeah, that's basically how this goes for between Zelda and Kirby himself when it comes to movesets and stuff like that. But even then though, they behave exactly like how it does in the previous games. Most likely Zelda from Super Smash Bros. Melee and Kirby from the previous 2 installments. So yeah, that's not what I can really much to talk about. Oh, Starman! But it is into the Super Mario Bros. 8-bit rendition of the Starman. But even then though, I really don't mind about it. But hey. Anyway, so in order to actually proceed for the next point of this stage is that we're actually going to be coming across into those new types of enemies that you clearly saw on during the last part, is that we can actually come across into Glanders, which consist of 3 different types of these types of enemies, which are essentially that there's actually an electricity version, there's also the fire element, and finally the icicle or blizzard element. So there's also some mates here and there, which almost kind of reminds me it almost related to the Mr. Game & Watch fighter from Super Smash Bros. Melee. But even then though, it always kind of reminds me of that for some reason. And then right here, this is actually a reference to the Indiana Jones syndrome, is that we could actually getting chased by these little boulders coming from above. Which, granted though, Sonic, we don't usually steal a treasure or somewhat, so instead we just have to go through a lot of platforming and stuff, so... Oh yeah, one thing you actually notice is that in order to actually proceed for the continuation of this stage, you have to be sure you need to actually take care of the black vortex, which actually respawn these enemies, which that seems to be the case, and sadly we actually got off screen by this little grip. I think it's made it due to the fact that we actually got a high percentage, so... Yeah. Because for the most part though, it plays exactly like how it does it for the previous installments of Super Smash Bros. Basically, so... Yeah, that's all there is to know. We can see there's a yellow door there. This means is that this is pretty much the end of the level, so... Yeah, how about that? Okay, Lakitu and Spiny's, Spike, which is essentially the enemy trophy, Blade Knight, and Sapple from Animal Crossing Wildlife for stickers, Boxy from Kirby Mouse Attack, aka Kirby Squeak Squad, Diddy, no, not Diddy, Tiny Kong from Donkey Kong 64, Blaze the Cat from Sonic Rush, and HM Mark, Mech, I can't pronounce that very well, I really do apologize for that. But anyway though, so that's it for the Sea of Clouds, and let's go ahead and save our game. So we got about 6% on that particular file right now. Let's go ahead and move on to the next level, the jungle. Donkey Kong. Diddy Kong. So now we can choose between Donkey Kong or Diddy Kong. In fact, Diddy Kong was actually yet another new playable character introduced in the Super Smash Bros. Series, and he's actually first appearance in Donkey Kong Country for the Super Nintendo. So, yeah, let's go ahead and start with Donkey Kong first, because we like to start off with the returning characters first, and then we actually get into the newer fighters as soon as we actually progress with the story. So, how it works for Donkey Kong, he plays exactly like how it does in Super Smash Bros. 64 and Super Smash Bros. Melee, as you probably already know. And he can actually perform himself if you're actually using a side special attack, you can actually use this, little bit of a strong attack and stuff like that, even though granted though we haven't looked up on the movesets for a long while. And also you can actually press the standalone B attack, which this allows you to actually charge up your punch. So even then though, as soon as you actually just press it at least once, and then as soon as it starts to flashing for Donkey Kong and stuff, that way this means is that his punching charge can be fully charged. So, and then if you press the B button again, you'll actually do a devastating punch. So that's how it goes. And also the up special attack can actually perform himself this little up attack recovery. So even though it's pretty essential if you're actually trying to reach back up to this little certain points of this level. And finally, the down special attack, which is essentially one of my favorite moves of Donkey Kong, is that he can actually perform himself a little bit of a slam dunk ability, which it always seems very helpful that there's actually a returning mode in this game called multi-man Brawl, even though it's somewhat more like the equivalent to multi-man Melee, but except it's now called a multi-man Brawl. But even then, we'll get to that eventually. So anyway, yeah, Donkey Kong, much like how it does it in previous entries in the series, well, unlike in 64 version of it anyway, is that I found Donkey Kong is really cool in this game, because even though he's still going strong, even to this day, and also judging by the fact that now he has actually got himself his buddy along with him, which was Diddy Kong, which is again the new playable character type on the Super Smash Bros. Series, firstly introduced in the Smash Bros. History. But even though, as I mentioned earlier, it actually first appearance in Donkey Kong Country for the Super Nintendo, because, well, it makes perfect sense for that, mind you. But anyways, let's see if we can actually enter this red door, which this will lead you to the bonus, which it leads us to these familiar enemies, since how it does it for Mushroom Kingdom stage in Super Smash Bros. Melee's Adventure mode, which are the Goombas, Koopa Troopers, and especially noticeable these Paratroopers essentially too. But there's only one new enemy we're actually going to be coming across into for this Super Smash Bros. Series, although we'll get to that in a moment temporarily. But anyways, let's go ahead and activate the switch, so that way it will actually let this platform to appear. So now that quest though. So you're probably familiar with these little arrow cannons right there, which is actually kind of almost like a reference to a Donkey Kong Country level to me. But even then, more so for the original trilogy, which is kind of more likely, it always kind of reminds me of that. So here are these Hammer Bros, which are essentially these new enemies introduced in the Super Smash Bros. Series, even though their first appearance was actually in Super Mario Bros. For the Nintendo Entertainment System. And then, basically, they behave exactly like how it does it for, obviously from the original Super Mario Bros. Had. They sometimes, although the only one noticeable difference between this and this game, than the likes of Super Mario Bros. Games, is the fact that he doesn't actually walk around while actually throwing. So instead, he just stands completely still, and then every once in a while, he actually chucks these hammers at us. So, yeah, it might be really painful to deal with, but honestly, these guys are not that bad on this game. So, this is from my honest opinion for that anyway. Oh, here's another trophy. Yeah, sometimes you're actually going to be finding a lot of trophies in Super Smash Bros. Brawl, even so much so for the likes of Super Smash Bros. Melee, because in Super Smash Bros. Melee, that it only contains like 292 trophies all in total, but I believe in this game it only contains like, let's say a maximum of 544 trophies, which is quite a lot though compared to how it does in Super Smash Bros. Melee, because thanks to these newer games that came out roughly around it during 2003 and 2008, so, well, so much so at the beginning part of 2018 as a matter of, no, not 2018, 2008. So because of that though, this game originally was supposed to came out. Oh, here's a funny story about this actually. Originally, that this game was supposed to come out during the launch until the 3rd of December in 2007, but due to the fact they need to actually add in a lot more content, so instead they're actually trying to delay this game until eventually in 2008. So, like as we expected that you know, because they want to add in some more characters into the character roster and stuff, that's what they were going for here. So here's the final part of this level, is that we're going to actually just to manage to either jump onto these Goombas, like as you saw right there, or even just to try to attack them with this simple smash abilities and stuff like that. And speaking of such, here's our Goomba trophy, and let's enter this yellow door. Bowser. Unfortunately though, Bowser managed to kidnap Donkey Kong, which is kind of almost like equivalent to Donkey Kong Country 2 story, but even then we'll get into that in a second. So Katie and Kimberlin from Animal Crossing, Ashai, Link's grandma, Bulblin, and Goomba trophies. And as for stickers, we got ourselves the, I can't remember exactly what that first sticker was actually called, but there's also Man Kid, which is already the only sticker we've already got, Humaya from Mother 3, Shy Guy from Yoshi's Story, Bowser from Dancing Stage Mario Mix, aka Dance Dance Revolution Mario Mix, Slippy from Star Fox Assault, Dr. Eggman from Sonic the Hedgehog, Needle Kirby from Kirby 64, Chukal from Sonic Adventure DX Director's Cut, Celesta from Animal Crossing Wild World for the DS, Bowser Jr. exact same sticker from Super Mario Sunshine, and Mario Luigi from obviously from Mario Luigi Superstar Saga, which just makes it more doubtful anyway. So now we actually add in Diddy Kong into the lineup. So even though that again we don't actually have the ability to play as Donkey Kong for at any time moments, because again they essentially got kidnapped by Bowser while transforming him into a trophy, obviously. So anyway though, so now that's it for the jungle out the way. And now let's move on to the next level, the plane. And you can only select Mario or Peach once you actually access to this level. So, by the way, if you want to actually revisit to these previous 3 stages, you can actually revisit these stages as any characters you want it to be. So, oh yeah, one thing you actually notice is that as you can see on this little level select screen, that as you can tell, there's actually a crown displayed. This means is that it actually represents you've actually found every single secret in this game. Or in this case, every single secret in this levels. So that's actually pretty impressive for the time, ever since that it almost kind of reminds me almost something related to Donkey Kong Country games. But anyway though, let's talk more on the of how the Donkey Kong seemed to got kidnapped by a villain, which is almost kind of reminds me almost very similar to how it does it for the plot, the storyline in Donkey Kong Country 2 Diddy's Conquest for the Super Nintendo / Game Boy Advance. That in the story in Donkey Kong Country 2 that Diddy and Dixie is about to aiming to rescue Donkey Kong because Donkey Kong usually got kidnapped by King K. Rool back in, you know, Donkey Kong Country 2. But even then though, that it always kind of reminds me of that, except the notable difference was though is that there's no love for King K. Rool. In fact, we have not seen King K. Rool even for a long time since Mario Super Sluggers came around. In fact, as a matter of fact though, is that I'm not exactly sure if it's probably just me, but I'm pretty sure even then though that Super Mario Super Sluggers never came out in Europe and Australia, so even then though that it luckily for North America and Japan though anyway, always seemed to got it rather than us. So anyway though. So yeah, the plane is basically a typical grassy field level, and that's all there is to know. But even then though, there's going to be a whole lot of more abundancy of new enemies we're about to be discovered through. But even then though, before we actually get into the more details about where we're actually going to be moving on later, but even then though, that there's going to be a secret in this level, and this is pretty easy to miss if you're actually first time playing this game as far as I'm concerned. But basically what you have to do is that depends on what characters you're using, like Mario or Pit. Pit might be the easiest character to use in this level specifically, is that if you reach up there, especially if you want to actually do a slightly slight multi-jumps and stuff, and actually press the up B attack whenever you wanted to in order to actually reach up there. This way you actually get yourselves a secret room which contains some quantity of stickers, a heart container which actually restores your health, and also the golden box. So excuse me about that, sorry about that. which actually contains a trophy, which is a Nintendo from Nintendogs for Nintendo DS. So yeah, you notice there's something that might be probably familiar with, is that you know these little box containers that usually comes in with 2 different variations of these colors? The blue ones, which essentially just, it doesn't matter. And the yellow ones, which actually requires you to actually get the 100% completion on Subspace Emissary. So that's, as far as memory is concerned, that's how those usually goes when it comes to these little methods. So I believe this is more likely the final section of this level is just to deal out with all abundance of enemies. So yeah, that's all there is to know. So, but hey, they said it doesn't overstay its welcome though, by the way. So even then, I don't really have too many issues with the Subspace Emissary. It's actually, feels kind of reminds me like I was playing the adventure mode again from Super Smash Bros. Melee, but except it's a lot more likely takes place in the realistic places rather than just in the actual Nintendo universe. In fact, speaking of Nintendo universe, is that those enemies aren't actually represented from the Nintendo universe. Although the only time it's more likely Nintendo universe enemies, it was actually the Mario themed enemies, which is Goomba and Koopa and Hammer Throw and even Paratrooper as a result. So as you can see for like a few seconds ago, is that we actually come across into a new items introduced in this game, which was the Hothead from Super Mario World. You know, these very familiar enemies from since the final level in Super Mario World, in essentially the Valley of Bowser, which is more likely prediction is going to be at, I'm assuming it's going to be in, I'm guessing it's going to be, you know, in the front door most likely. Is that, you know, in the back door in Super Mario World that you can actually skip the entire portion of the entire level. But I digress though. So what that does is that it allows you to actually, you can like throw the Hothead whatever you wanted to, but at the same time you can actually use that to your advantages to actually just go ahead and use that until you actually place at certain any points or whatever, then you'll actually let the Hothead can go accelerate and stuff. So that's just how this is to me. So anyways, let's go ahead and get rid of these little abominations right here. Even then, I'm having a really hard time defeating them because I was just about to try to actually deal with the finishing move with this home run bat, but unfortunately though we haven't sort of deal with that. But let's just hopefully if we actually try to do this again. Oh my god, why did they appear so early on? There we go. But we actually got ourselves a hard container after doing so. So anyway, I think this might be the final enemy row we're going to be doing with here. Yep, this might be it. So let's see if how well are we going to be doing for this particular section. So yeah, if you probably expected by now, the majority of this Let's Play is concerned when it comes to that this game is actually heavily introduced as these cutscenes, which I found is quite detailed for the looks of it. It always kind of reminds me like I was watching almost like exactly similar to Pixar standpoints of the filming of the department. But this is kind of cool nonetheless. So, yeah, that's all there's to know. So, and there's going to be a lot of alternate scenes we're going to be showcased every time we're going to be seeing the exact same cutscenes from before, minus with some differences between, again, it depends on what princess you'll be saving at the very beginning of the game. Well, specifically in the Subspace Emissary mode. So, that's all there is to know when it comes to that little discussion that we must confess. But I digress. So, if we actually continue walking from here, this is how the end of the level goes. And I never catch up to the ancient minister, which I wonder what he's planning for. Anyway, so the trophies-wise we've got is the Great Fairy, Nintendo, and Bold Dish from Diddy Kong, Kyuka from Pokemon series, most likely Generation 3, Mario from Super Paper Mario, Jill from Drill Dooza, Marth from Fire Emblem, the Japanese-related name, Waffle from Metroid Prime Hunters for the DS, Girl from Animal Crossing Wild World, and the exact same sticker. And there's also, I can't exactly what can I describe about this trophy, honestly. Oh, Mana from WarioWare Inc. and Mushroom from New Super Mario Bros. For the DS. So, yeah, let's just say we're gonna have to end things off here. So join us next time on Let's Play Super Smash Bros. Brawl's Subspace Emissary mode. It's the fact that we moved on to the next level, which was the lake. I wonder what's been in here, so let's see you guys next time. Later, fellas.